family members, it's finally here after an 8-day gap, the fourth test and the most pivotal test in the India versus England series. India versus England at Old Trafford, Manchester. This is the first time that India are facing England in Manchester after a gap of 11 years. Prior to that, in 2014, India had played in Manchester after a gap of 24 years. But now the series is on the line and some major decisions will have to be taken in the playing 11. India have been ravaged by injuries. Akash Deep, not fit. Arshdeep Singh, not fit. Nitish Reddy ruled out for the entire series. So now it is certain that Jasprit Bumrah will have to play at Manchester. There is no two ways about it. And looking at the playing 11, perhaps you could see Anshul Kamboj play. Perhaps both Karun Nair and Sai Sudarshan will have to play. And that is why this test match will test the Indian batting team's composition. What will be the batting composition? Is Shardul Thakur coming in place of Nitish Reddy? Is there a chance for Kuldeep Yadav to come in? We don't know. Because the pitch is damp. The weather in Manchester for today has improved slightly, but it is going to be overcast throughout the entire 5 days. And there is rain predicted on day 2, there is rain predicted on day 5. The weather in Manchester as of now, 6:15 a.m., the rain has expected to be stopped. It has stopped the weather. It was intermittently raining yesterday. Yesterday, when you look at it, not a single match practice session could take place. And that is why this particular pitch, we don't know how it will be. Ben Stokes has said that he didn't get a good look at the pitch. Shubman Gill believes that there will be moisture, there will be dampness. The bowlers will have far more purchase than any of the other pitches that he has seen in the series. So Manchester, with overcast conditions, with the pitch being damp, you could see India and England put on a good fight. Whichever team wins the toss will get the best use of the conditions first up. And that is why when you look at it, the playing 11 is going to be incredibly important. Maybe if you have to look at the playing 11, the batting order, if you look at it with some changes, okay, let's look at the batting order. You have Jaiswal, Rahul, Karun will get another chance, Shubman, Rishabh, then you've got Ravindra Jadeja, or maybe Sai Sudarshan at 6, Ravindra Jadeja at 7, Washington Sundar at 8, and then you've got Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah. Potentially, Anshul Kamboj will make his debut. That is the playing 11 that I feel could happen today in Manchester. Because India want batting until number 8 and number 9, that is how the situation is going to pan out. But there is already a lot of spark in this series. It's happened after Lords. First 2 tests were pretty okay, but now Gill has criticized the England team for not playing with the spirit of the game. And that is exactly what about 18 years ago, Anil Kumble had said in the aftermath of the Sydney scandal that only one team was playing in the spirit of the game because of all the umpiring decisions that happened. However, Gill's charge is pretty, when you look at it, their mind is still back at Lords. Their mind is not in Manchester at this point in time because what has happened and England didn't do anything against the rules. There is nothing called as time wasting in the rules. And that is why Shubman Gill's charge that, only one team was playing in the spirit of the game was just not worth it. And that is why India are still distracted by what has happened at Lords. Let's make one thing very clear here. But on the other hand, the India women's team has managed to secure a magnificent series win 2-1. They managed to win the final ODI by 13 runs and win the series 2-1. And that is why this is going to be incredibly important now. This ODI series win is going to put them in a good state heading into the Women's ODI World Cup that will be held around September, October in India. So it is going to be a big boost. India have ended their tour on a high. They won the T20I series 3-2. They won the ODI series 2-1. And it continues their fine form in England. Last time in 2022, they achieved a historic series sweep 3-0 that they won. And that is why this is a big moment in Indian cricket at this point in time. So that is why it's a good news for the Indian women's cricket team as you look at it. As far as other cricket news is concerned, New Zealand beat South Africa, and New Zealand will face South Africa in the final of the Tri-Series T20 Cup. They are in good form at this point in time. After that, New Zealand will play 2 tests. But in the Australia versus West Indies T20I series that's going on, Andre Russell's farewell has been spoiled because Australia managed to chase down a total in excess of 170 in just 15 overs, with Josh Inglis and Cameron Green absolutely blasting the West Indies bowlers to all parts. And that is why Andre Russell's retirement has not gone on well. And that's why Australia have taken a 2-0 lead in the 5-match series. If Australia wins the next one, they would have won a series in the West Indies for the very first time. And that is huge when you have to look at it. And that is why it's going to be very, very interesting. Another major bit of cricket news is that the BCCI could come under a National Sports Governance Bill, which means now it will have to fight elections. There is a specific age and tenure gap. And looking at the situation, everybody, it is modeled on the IOC's tenure and age cap bit, and that is why BCCI will now have to get elections done. BCCI is no longer, you may say, a private or a public entity. It comes under a sporting federation. It is an NSF, a National Sporting Federation. And that is why this is a huge bit. We will be doing an explainer as to why the Sports Governance Bill is a turning point when it comes to BCCI administration. So that is it when it comes to cricketing news. As far as other sporting news is concerned, PV Sindhu has made a good start in the China Open 1000 event, and as well as Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, they have also made a good start. Sindhu is in the next round. HS Pranoy, the miracle that he had in the previous round, now he's going to ensure that he does well in the round of 16. Apart from that, Lakshya Sen's, unfortunately, his struggles continue. Remember, this is a BWF 1000 event. It is huge as far as points are concerned, as far as rankings are concerned. And that's why whatever Sindhu does, whatever Pranoy does, whatever Satvik Sairaj, Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty do, it is very, very vital that they get into the final and win the tournament. 1000, when was the last time they won it? You'll have to go back months for this. Other sporting news is concerned, it is going to be very, very interesting as to how Divya, Deshmukh and Koneru Humpy manage in their final classical game today, because they both held their Chinese opponents to a draw. Lei Tingzhi was held to a draw by Koneru Humpy. Divya, Deshmukh frustrated Tan Zhongyi. Today, they are playing with white pieces. If both of them win, then we will see a historic all-Indian final, and both Divya, Deshmukh and Koneru Humpy would have gone into the candidates as well. So, big, big day today. If both games end in a draw, then we are going to see tiebreakers played tomorrow. So, vital day when you look at the Women's Chess World Cup. Even if both lose, one Indian is assured of a spot in the candidates. And that is historic in itself. So that is why this is a big, big day when you look at the Women's Chess World Cup. Already, there is plenty of expectation that at least one Indian can make it into the final at this point in time. And I'll take a couple of comments that have come. Yes, Pawan Suresh, I did point that out that it's going to happen. Is Sai Sudarshan get a chance? Shori Holla? Maybe he might get a chance with both Karun Nair and Sai Sudarshan playing. And Raj, Gill wasted 5 minutes for every massage and he's trying for 90 seconds, move on. I know. As I mentioned, the criticism is frankly out of place. And their wannabe aggression cost them their focus. And they lost the Lord's Test match. That's how I look at it. And Sid Sir, congratulations, now Asia Cup looks unlikely. Until the last moment, I will not say anything. If the meeting continues in Dhaka, which is expected tomorrow, you can very well say that yes, if India don't attend, the Asia Cup isn't happening. Simple. But anything can happen until the last moment. As we all know, greed overcomes a lot of other things. And continuing upon the thing about the World Championship of Legends, what if India and Pakistan meet in the semi-final or the final? Will our legends boycott that as well? Because hastily, if you look at it, great that they boycotted the match and all the nationalism and everything, they have shown the way. But they could have done it much before. They knew the schedule. They knew that this was going to happen. Why did they then belatedly decide after all the social media rage that yes, we will do it and consider ourselves good in the eyes of the optics. So somewhere down the line, it has to happen in that sense, and it is a test even for the World Cup as well. So let's see how that happens. Can we see a full day washout, a full day game, or in and out type? Mostly Anshu Mishra, all the 5 days it's in and out type. Today, though, there is little chances of rain. Tomorrow, there is huge chances of rain. Will India's next international match be 2 October versus West Indies test match now? I hope so. I hope so, because see, Asia Cup under the present situation, it shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen. Should India bat or bowl first today if they win the toss? Hope the 13 toss losses streak ends today. Well, if you win the toss, you bowl first. Simple. Is Kuldeep Yadav playing Shoriola? No, I don't think so. I think team winning toss will bowl first today because of overcast conditions. Yes, it's also a damp pitch. And cool pineapple. Say a word on Magnus, who finished third after 5 wins on the tour, 11 winning freestyle as we predicted. Levan Aronian, a gentleman to the core. Levan Aronian, one of the nicest guys that you can see. And Magnus, if only he had held his own against Levan Aronian, he could have won Las Vegas freestyle. I'm telling you. It's Levan's fantastic game that ensured that Magnus couldn't win. And Himanshu Russell retired feeling sad. Well, that had to happen, my friend. I think that had to happen. Yes, his retirement didn't go off in the style that we expected, but nobody gets good farewells until and unless you're Sachin Tendulkar. So yes, India versus England today, as well as the Women's Chess World Cup semi-final round 2. If Humpy and Divya Deshmukh win, they are into the finals. So it's a huge, huge day indeed. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.